It's so nice to de-stress.
Solidify!
Fate is upon you!
Stabilize!
Do your master's bidding!
Next on the agenda... Born of ice and frost.
Gather!
A co u nas tam?
I won't hold you back. Much.
Solidify! This is order!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Your grand finale! Time for a light show!
Stabilize! I will have order!
Go Bishop down! I'm going in! Fire hazard!
guide you.
I'm going in! Offensive retreat!
Solidify!
Everybody stand back! Strike is one! Flag slide! Fire hazard! Here come the fireworks!
This is order.
Let's light it up! Observe! Teamwork is trick! Your grand finale! Time for a light show! Watch me make a snowball! Pew! Fuse is lit!
Gather! I will have order.
Time for a light show!
Ты куда ты делся, блин? Уху. О.
Add astro. Thank you for
Ты мне тут показываешь, так все прошло. А я пошла тут тестовать. Так. Кого день рождения? Ника. 18 книжек еще. Не, мать без короны больше. Стоит C6, это не значит, что у тебя корона должна.
Up, up and away.
Все. Артов нету. Давай.
Don't fear. Yo-Yo's here.
Sure. Solidified.
Emerge.
Stabilize.
Так, сейчас еще. Так, а больше навскидку я не помню. Так, через интерактивку смотреть, если... Где еще у нас? Да, и так сойдет. Что, ничего не меняли, что ли? Нет, Жень. Нет, ходи. У меня этот, как его, Байлу И1. Так что броня И1 куда лучше, чем Байлу И1.
Falling leaves adorn my night. The wind knows me.
Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha. Quietly.
Here you are.
У меня из стандартных только 2 персонажа. Я уже где-то 12, что ли, круток накопила. Плюс у меня еще есть с этого... с Луны, короче. Ну, как они там называются, я не помню. Короче, ты понял. Можно еще прекрасить. Так что я думаю, что за 3 недели, как вариант, на 1 гарант я точно смогу накопить.
Think you can get away? By ordinance divine. Take your true no touching.
Feeling lucky today?
How? Let's play.
Try to keep order guide you. Stabilize.
All hail. I'm getting sick.
You want this? You want this?
Don't touch him.
I'll be.
А там Байлу, по-моему, что-то энергию, что ли, восстанавливает или что-то такое. Один. Тоже неплохо. Блин, я сегодня кое-как закрыла ивент на третий, который идет уровень, этот типа подземелье. Я не знаю, ты ходил туда, не ходил?
Here you are. A process of elimination.
Out of my way. Stand with me.
Busted.
Flicker.
Такой тяжеловатый ивент получился.
Time for takeoff.
Даже для меня тяжеловатый.
This is long overdue.
I will have order.
Опять мы, блядь, все в разных сторонах.
Game's up. Fun's over. Quietly now.
Into the wind. How bold.
Busted.
Next on the agenda.
You are not well solidified.
Transfiguration. Yahoo! Access denied. Cryo incarnate.
Now you're testing my patience. Will.
Тут что-нибудь поменяли хотя бы? Нихуя, да? фонтайн выйдет, поменяют. Я все никак до финалки не доберусь.
Right here. Emerge.
Надо финалку проходить. Я вчера долго сидела с компа в этом Сорелле, а там по интерактивке, короче, за сундуками походила, всякие допы поделала. От этого крутки набрала. Еще кавку не делала.
Busted. Gotcha. Show them. Right here. Right now. A sight to behold.
Качать вообще нечем. У меня нету рефа под слово совсем. Я такой, блядь, бомж. В принципе, ты скоро таким же станешь. Скоро у тебя рефа закончится.
Our bond is strong. Emerge. Right now. Yes.
Она во второй половине будет. Ну, по нынешним сливам, я поняла.
Do your master's bidding.
Только ты ведь знаешь, как рутки работают. Блять, пидорасы. У меня была тут все полностью.
Born of ice and frost.
Order guide you.
Лего может прийти когда угодно. Первая половина Тян будет охота пира по сливам.
One with nature.
Как ее? Топаз. Но она тоже классная. Охота всегда хорошая, тоже. Но мне нравится больше разрушения. Я прям люблю разрушения, поэтому я себе и Блейда тут, и как его, Пожирателя хочу. Я, кстати, ледяную тоже хочу. Она же разрушение.
We're way behind schedule.
Я вчера только сливы смотрела и сидела у Вована на стриме. Мы с Дэном общались по этому поводу. Типа кто когда, потому что он тоже ждет именно эту Крио девочку.
This is order. Gather.
Transfiguration.
One with nature.
Born of ice and frost.
Кстати, я топаз тоже ждала, но вот теперь я не знаю, кого крутить. Видишь, они тут все мне мало того, что надо пожирателя выбить, еще каким-то образом умудриться, так там Фусюань, ладно, скипнем, и дальше, блин, две тянки, которые я хотела. Мне придется что-то выбирать.
Nothing lasts forever. Emerge right now, right here. Game's up. Time's over.
Here you are. The process of elimination.
Давай еще, блядь, угораете, что ли? Накинулись нахуй.
Busted. Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey. Right now, a sight to behold. Right here, right now. Emerge. Looking for a fight?
Testing my patience. Surprise! Gonna need you again.
I'll settle this. Here comes the catch.
This one's
Busted.
Feels close.
А там, я не знаю, ты вообще в курсе про Ханкай Фёрд, ну, который первая версия Ханкая, вот это вот. Там, короче, есть я и Сакура, а-ля я и Мика, блин, и Райден Мэй, а-ля Райден. Они тоже появятся в этом Ханкае. Очень классные. Я просто играла немного. Фёрд.
Bioincarnate! Take your true form!
Clouds high. Birds come.
Into the wind!
No touching. This is long overdue.
Order guide you.
The wind knows me.
Born of ice and frost.
Райден Мэй, блин, она, по-моему, охота электрический. Она немного похожа на Зелю. Яя. То ли электрический, то ли квантовый. Тоже... Короче, есть один сайт с почти со всеми будущими персонажами. Блять. Я, по-моему, здесь брала. Так, точно. А Куки тут еще будет. Кого еще взять? Можно... Блядь, да они отлетать нахуй так будут. Во второй половине. Хоть чтобы они мне отлетали. Можно, в принципе, Гелань сюда взять. Мне Казуха нужно будет во второй. А можно всякие бутончики, чтобы делались. Так вот. Тут коза. По дефолту, блядь. Ладно, пошли так попробуем. Я на 12 не пойду, ебала, я свои нервы еще тратить.
Share my knowledge. Our bond is strong. Come on. Right now, emerge. Out of my way.
Attempts back.
I'm always watching. Right now, right here. I see everything. Committed to...
Cascade.
Hey! Make yourselves at home. Show them, right now. Emerge. Stand with me.
Be still. Mind the deluge.
Lightning terrified! Right now, right here. Nothing lasts forever. Emerge, right now, right here. I see everything. Our bond is strong.
Let's get down to business.
Solidify.
I will have order.
Do your master's bidding.
As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
All hail. Access denied.
Feel my blade. The wind knows me.
No touching.
Fallen leaves. How's this? Adorn my
Order guide you. Let me try my blade.
Transfiguration!
Tricks.
By ordinance divine!
one with nature.
Stabilize.
Access denied.
Good.
Sharing my knowledge. Emerge, right now.
Kamisato Arc. Suiyu.
Come on out, right here. Emerge. Stand with me. Out of my way. Hey! Make yourselves at home. A sight to behold. Right now. Emerge.
Cascade. Mind the deluge.
Our bond is strong. Everyone hold hands. The Temple of Wisdom. Right here. Emerge. Right here. Emerge.
We're way behind schedule.
Solidify.
My will embodied!
This is long overdue.
This is order. Gather.
Cryo incarnate!
Born of ice and frost.
Stabilize.
Take your true form!
The wind knows me.
Access denied. Sharing my knowledge. Show them. Right here. Emerge.
Be still.
Come on out. Right now. I'm always watching. Emerge. Right now. Emerge. Everyone hold hands. Top grip.
Cascade. I may have overestimated myself. Mind the deluge.
Right now. Emerge. Make yourselves a room. Show them. Right. Sharing my knowledge. Taste. Our bond is strong. Lightning, terrified. Right now, emerge. Right here. Nothing lasts forever. Right now, emerge.
Kamisato art. Suyu. Be still.
Your journey ends
Solidify.
here, Lord of Sand. Your sacrifice is ready.
Let's end this now. Time. The birds come. I will have order.
By ordinance divine. For Rex Lapis. No touching.
Now you're testing my patience.
The golden slow.
Meet again.
Be a good audience, won't you? Transfiguration.
Gather.
Access denied.
I'm not done yet.
Into the wind.
All hail.
This is order.
Такое говнище. Что тут еще делать? Вообще как-то логичнее Фонтейн, что вот откуда-нибудь отсюда сделали вот здесь вот кучу-кучу воды. Как-то не карту делают, странно очень. Больше, блин, и заняться-то нечем. В карты я не хочу играть в карты. Ну эти попроходить только. Задание легенд.
Osman.
Ой, давай, дед, без этого, пожалуйста. Кот, не кричи. Не кричи. Давай, кот, прекращай.
What now? Master said there's no rush. I feel for Madame Forrest, but if I get her in trouble with the academia... But if someone does complain, and if the academia investigated and found her, do you have some way to invite her over to parties, DI, without step... Okay, then. Huh. I have to
Помнишь, что я первая все верхние отвечала?
Madame Farzan, we're back. Sorry for asking again, but well, since you're asking me so...
Please, Madame Farzan, focus. Today's the deadline. Huh?
Yes. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research. Yeah, that's right. Master sent us over...
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Farazan's research and that of Amorta, right?
A fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation?
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a ruin in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to...
A mechanism like that exists?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher?
But we can't prove its existence.
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the academia later.
An official proposal. Fine. I'll go inform my superiors now.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it. Phew. I think, even though this is our first meeting, I must say... Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Who knows? It's been 100 years. Huh? I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might... If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the academia nonsense.
You don't have to shout. Well, you got here much faster than I expected.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to,
On to others?
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter.
That's right.
Who's our target this time?
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. What a shame. Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it?
Carcata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Carcata's energy supply module. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further.
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend. Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but...
All right. We're counting. We'll wait here till Farazan finishes her inspection. In the past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about... I've told you before that she had disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more... Her exact words were...
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed.
She doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin, and how when she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin and because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those though she had finally broken free. 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew and everyone who knew her was already gone. In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to... Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects. She holds some rather strong opinions about the current What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Farazan is a true She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should...
Master, Madame Farazan's done.
Oh, let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive... If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right?
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Carcutta's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on the creators of the Ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue. For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more... Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Carcata. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the...
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkata... According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately? The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles down.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look at. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia left for me.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said that you...
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing... What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further. That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't—
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you've visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from? I want to see him right now.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you permission.
What a stubborn guy. You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him about it. So let's just see what we can find out from the people here. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back. Starting from who in the world mentored you?
The ruins? Don't know anything. We were only hot. Forget excavation. They won't even let us get...
This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms. But it's been calm lately. They say that this was done by a single traveler? But seriously, is such...
That machine looks amazing. Could it be the legendary ruin? The location seems to fit too. Like the...
Well, I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you? Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. But that wreckage it's a bit far away. And I can't really say for sure from this distance.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then, and the legend has... You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the Ruin Wanderer?
Well, I had also heard...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got... Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Truly, it is an honor. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume?
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while now.
Really? That ruin wanderer...
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as... The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such base...
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if I can find out anything new about them. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing better than your help with our research. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? There are tents over there that the villagers occasionally use to rest. The condition is a bit simple, yes?
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that. This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them? This suits us just fine, though. Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine wreckage. But based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, I'd estimate that it only stopped moving about a dozen years ago. Yes, the timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, how do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite high-intensity operation over the course of several decades? That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Karkata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only able to help me record some notes. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules buried around here. Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly. Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obediently, and he'd get away scot-free. If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Karkata. Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next move. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, they're likely to try tonight. We must be vigilant. Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover something tomorrow. Not a single person guarding the campsite. This must be quite the... I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall them if it comes to that, would you? All right.
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out tonight.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first time we're delivering such a huge one.
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if... Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to...
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. When did you get here? It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Some of them, along with a few people, have been left there. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that previous campsite delivered here. The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Since the tent isn't here yet, and I can't fall asleep, I came here to patrol. Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many... Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Academia really aware that you've traversed through the Also, where's Farazan? Why...
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Sorry, Madam.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Let's head back. Yes, we came to check out the situation, didn't we? Well, we should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow. Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. These are the excavation records from their campsite. According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous traps and contraptions having all... I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for over 100 years. There's no doubt that the wreckage in the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it must have wandered into the ruins. It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins, remaining stationary like that until it was discovered recently. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. I have no doubt that the last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher. The answer may... It's just wordplay. And if anything, that's my wheelhouse.
Help! Please help!
Why are you running away?
What's that sound? The Ruin Wanderer? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind. We have to focus on saving lives first. What? It ignored the Traveler?
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to reactivate? And to give chase?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't...
It stopped?
Hey, you guys, get up there and...
But what if it suddenly moves?
You good-for-nothings! Why is everyone I Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it for much?
Faru-san, you may be my senior as an academia researcher, but that doesn't...
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better.
I don't recognize...
January 3rd. Excavated January 5th. 3 tents sold January 10th. 1 special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tent. You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it. When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruin Wanderer in the black market, yes? That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the Ruin Wanderer instead. Did I get that all right?
I don't know what you...
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms.
Ridiculous! Curiosity? Respect? I'm not...
Mr. Raid! Behind you? Why is it moving again? Run!
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time? Long time no see, Tamimi.
Dear Farazan, I hope you're doing well. It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up, but somehow I feel like you're still alive. Yes, that you've always been persistent, able to shine no matter what situation you face. I believe that this persistence serves you well in surviving, and unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. I don't have much time left, and my reflexes have slowed. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which you've been to. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi, so it can search for you in our place. You didn't like coming home back then, and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter with Tamimi. I wonder if it'll ever be delivered to you. I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this letter, I hope it'll be when you've all... I regret not being able to say this to you myself, but I'll still feel sincerely happy for you.
Welcome home, Farazan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much. I've safely received the letters. Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I would go on expeditions, it would follow me. When I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter for me. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to self-learning. And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified itself using parts it found along the way. 1 decade of wandering, Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the Ruin Wanderer. All so I could deliver these last letters from them to me. The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too much for your heart. Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limits over the past few decades. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It probably became trapped in the ruins all those years ago because its shelf life had run out. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had to deliver that last letter. Tainari told you what happened to me, right? You don't have to apologize. It's not like this. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. As a researcher, I must accept this result. However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure... Tess, can you head back to Pardis DI first? We've been here for a while, and it's best not to make Kale and the rest worry. As for me, I want to stay with Tamimi for a bit long.
Ah, how was your journey through the desert?
Oh no. She finally got to reunite with an old friend from 100 years ago.
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. However, as a friend, we should give her some time. Let's just wait for her here. And in the future, I hope that we can be here to support her as her new friend.
Welcoming party.
We've all been waiting for you, madam.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape. Huh? Why do you all look so solemn? Come now. Madam Farazan, did the... Come now. I thought that you must have encountered some major problem. This isn't something... Well, it looks like you already know everything. But no need to feel bad. Like I said before, Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current abilities. Not even with these parts. It would thus be much better to use them to extend Karkata's lifespan. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me. That holds... Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for Karkata temporarily. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to help me with my... I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and replicated the creations of the ancient civilization.
All right.
Me too. Although, I'm not sure if I'll be much help. Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back then, there's no reason why we won't. And when that day comes, I'll be sure to welcome home Tamimi. We've got nothing else to... You're back!
Ah. So, Madame Farazan has some other things to settle. All right.
Madame Farazan will be able to repair Karkata. I'm back! What? Madame Farazan! That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization. Unbelievable.
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened. Is that so? Thank you. It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. They're going to be very busy. Too busy to bother us, I'd wager. I'll start repairing Karkata then. Kale, can you help me out? You're here. Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret. If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Karkata? Even if we could convince them to accept, I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people. It's fine. I'm used to that. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Tamimi handed to me and learning that they'd never given up on me. I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Neither my teacher nor my mother would have wanted to see me like that. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now, aren't you? Oh, Pardias Di looks pretty scenic at night. Once Karkata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance to tell Tainari and Kale about all that. But for now, just help me keep this secret. Thank you. Whether it's 100 years ago or now, I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then. Yeah, I'm home.
Fireworks are for now.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush. I feel for Madame Farazan, but if I get her in trouble... Yeah, that would be the best. But I'm sure he'll say, Huh? Oh, yeah, so if I also stay and help... that still sounds kinda scary. Okay, then.
Huh. I have to
We're back, Madame Farazan. The Traveler said that she can...
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person... Is that so? Now, should I apply...
По-моему, я первая
I
все
don't know if
время.
Kainari's... I don't belong to Kasharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms. Nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow.
She has been invited to...
Just listen to how they introduce them. Besides, the current Kasharawar is if they're trying to use the collab...
No, that's not it. The representative of Kasharawar...
Oh, respect? Putting aside my idea...
Yeah, a car...
In summary, Akara Crafts... The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become...
True. The current
Madame Farazan.
Anise, Kasharawar's...
Port Ormos?
I probably can't join.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done... Thank you. Why?
Madame Farazan! Oh.
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still not all that interested in After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all...
Either way, it's good that you were willing. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated, which will drive production...
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep...
If you join the Kasharawar...
That's enough! I will not...
All right. Mamdu, the one I recommended is...
Oh, so you're...
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. We've made many suggestions.
These early learning toys...
But if they're too complicated...
So the design can't be too complicated.
I remember that in your notes.
The contraptions in my notes... I didn't create those. But now that you mention it, the ruins did...
You have an idea already? Oh, you're done already?
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by these
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
That sounds way too simple.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anise that you find volunteers to...
It's such a simple toy. There's no...
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in a
You called everyone here for such a simple toy.
It doesn't look like it'll take that many.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Momdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with.
Done! It took me 19 steps.
Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't.
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the faster.
Done! It took me 35
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, Momdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this a go?
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Farazan, allow me to try it as well.
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles involved? If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
We don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is? What a shame. You were close. However, let's see how well they do then.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken.
This got a lot harder.
I solved it! Madam Farazan, it takes...
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required...
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption-making tech. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular.
Do you have any
Yeah! When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for...
Of course!
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which you'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions. The more, the merrier.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll walk... I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardistii as quickly as I can. You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join them, yes? Putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves, I actually have no issue with their... After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority do not come into the conversation. All researchers are just doing their best to shed light on the unknown, no matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on. Because I believe, even if the others call my research useless, as long as in the end, when I first started deciphering ancient, that's why there's no need for me to join them to do. Still, the funding that Kasharawar has, perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and I could come up with. You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed it is. It's better to make it simpler. Thank you.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up everyone.
My masterpiece is going to be. And if we activate this little mechanism, a Sumeru rose will appear at.
Oh, I thought it came out of thin air. It's
If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rat.
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just...
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that make up a...
These are pretty cool. I'm
not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for
everyone. We have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event.
But...
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft...
Oh! My origami...
Professor Farazan? How can I make mine...
Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may indeed get the chance to... You may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example...
Wow! It really... Madam Farazan, will we learn origami at the Academia?
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field in the future if you want. You can even become one of my...
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the Academia. Wait, which Darshan teaches about mechanisms in origami?
Well, in this case...
I know. We need to choose Kashara.
Huh?
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami.
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms.
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties, too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children? How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to...
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat. The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Let me tell you a story about pressure-based...
Got nothing else to do. Why don't I tell you a story?
I'll be going then. Say hi to Anise. she's able to calmly. I'll do my best to teach her over the next. Well, her interest lies in the I do have some old knowledge to share. My research into mechanisms is, if she becomes my student to learn how to make. However, if I successfully poach, perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, oh, I could come up with. You're right. By using detailed. Thank you. Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up.
To sum up, all right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base layer design of elemental monuments.
I don't understand.
Are these really?
They sound
Well.
Oh, this is no. I want to go.
Forget it.
I should go home and.
How did this happen?
I'm sorry.
No, I will find a way to.
Excuse me?
Ah, you.
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal.
What's the branch master doing here?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet you were handing out, so Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild? Also, could you make full-fledged models of those paper...
What does the...
You may see that we have many, even if the academy...
And our booklet is practically all...
Well...
It might be a bit... If you can make wood, if we can supply...
You really think so?
Making models of
we'll probably have after all.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss...
Наконец-то. Ой. Этот что, бухать, что ли, опять будет? Подожди. Китайл за 5-звездочник, вайб. Ой.